Yes, we are live to discuss one of the greatest Indian wins in Test cricket of late. I mean, what a performance! What a comeback! At 301 for three, we were all writing obituaries for Indian cricket. Nobody gave them a chance. Almost 200 run partnership taking the game away. And here we are today discussing one of the greatest wins of India, one of the greatest comebacks. And what a comeback arc for the man of the moment, right? Mohammed Siraj. I mean, at Lords, he was lying on the pitch, sad and dejected, and today here he is taking the most important wicket and completing a fifer as well. What a turnaround for Mohammed Siraj also. And yesterday he dropped a catch and we were all wondering, is that the end for the end of the game for India? I mean, one of the greatest test matches I watched, one of the greatest test matches I followed, and so happy for this young team. I mean, I think it's one of the greatest stories scripted for this young team, and just I think this more and more laurels await them. And this spirit, what they've shown today, is one of the greatest I've seen. What are your first thoughts, Shivam?
Oh man, there are certain days where you actually feel proud to be a Test cricket fan. Uh, there are very few moments where you feel okay. This is you see you go and show the youngsters. Tell your friends that okay, that's why you love the Test cricket the most, right? Over the past 1.5 years, I think we have, as Indian cricket team fans, we've seen a lot of ups and downs. More ups, I would say. We saw that Indian team, winning the T20 title after a long period, after a long gap, and then we saw India, lifting the Champions Trophy a few months ago. In between, we lost. We got whitewashed at home. We lost that BGT 3-1 to Australia. But man, this was something else. This felt really special. And we were discussing this. This is probably one of the greatest Test victories for India in the 21st century. You can think of that 2001 Calcutta Test, that BGT 2021 BGT final test, at the Gaba, and probably this one. I mean, what an incredible performance! And you were without Bumrah. You were sort of one pacer short. Ideally in these conditions you should have picked four pacers. But man, Mohammad Siraj, oh man, what a performer! I mean, we talk about workload, talk about the man management and everything, and there this guy, man, we balled close to 50 overs in this game. Another 40-50 overs in the last one. You had only a couple of days gap between the two test matches. Incredible. He's someone is so passionate. You listen to him, you feel that he speaks from his heart. I mean, I'm really amazed to see the story of Mohammad Siraj, man. Inspirational.
No, completely agree. I mean, it's like Atherton mentioned, I think, right? That he's one guy who every ball is 100%. There is nothing less. The guy doesn't know anything less. If he is bowling, he's going to give you 100%. I mean, even the wicket that I think he got Atkinson out finally, 145 kilometers per hour. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
bowling that after 5 days of cricket, after bowling 50 overs, like you mentioned, it's just something, man. That guy is built differently, and we are so blessed. I mean, I think I was reading the stats also, right? Pacers wickets post Siraj debut. He has the highest number of wickets, 103 wickets now. Next is Bumrah, then Stark, then Rabada. The guy is just he. I mean, okay. I think what happened is here is that the shadow of Bumrah, right? We know Bumrah is one a generational talent, and unfortunately, like how Dravid played under Tendulkar, that shadow is always there. But it's time we recognize this person, man. It's time we give him the due respect. I mean, one of the great all-time triers, if not, I mean, and genuinely good. He can swing the ball both ways, bowl the right lengths. There is nothing more you can ask for a fast bowler, right? I mean, so happy to see the performance and that Lord scene, right? It never goes to your mind that he's just falling and that dismissal had happened to him. And you want a redemption arc. You want, and when he took that last wicket and a fifer, I mean, you can't ask something more better for him from anybody. And remember when the World Cup speech happened, right? We all believe in Jesse Bai. And today he says, I believe in myself. Good to see that
That's
that
right.
confidence in
Yeah,
him that
yeah.
I can take charge and I can lead the attack. And it is so nice to see. I mean, like we all discussed, right? The stats are there to prove that he's one of the best bowling talents out there. And now he's winning games. He's winning games for Lords. He's winning games for Australia, in Durban, in now here in Oval as well. And there's nothing more to prove now. I don't think he's now liable to prove to anybody.
No, fair point. Absolutely spot on, Sulesh. Actually, even when I was thinking about the game, yesterday, where he took that catch on the boundary line and then stepped on the rope, I think that was a probably we all thought, although England were still 200 odd runs away from the target, we still thought, okay, man, did we just drop the game here? Because the
Yeah.
kind of batter Harry Brook is, we all know what he can do, and he did that almost, single-handedly along with Root. Just he was just too good yesterday. But I think the final 30 minutes yesterday, I think that set up the game beautifully. Uh,
Yeah,
like you mentioned, 300 odd for three and 60, 70 runs. You got say 7 wickets. Okay, even if you exclude Vokes at that point of time, you got around 6 wickets in hand, two set batters. Uh, and I think that those final 35, 40 minutes from the Indian bowlers, especially Mohammed Siraj, even Prasidh Krishna, I think that probably brought back the confidence. And it was just a matter of time. I mean, we were discussing this yesterday as well, that in these conditions, one brings two, right? That's the way it goes. You get the set batter out. If you are sticking with your line and length, the ball is nipping around. The lengths are
yeah.
probably at the driving or the that wicket taking hard length. I think a lot can happen, and that's exactly what Siraj did. And I was actually disappointed when the game got called off yesterday. I actually had a feeling that India were there, almost there to pick another 1 or 2 wickets. But hats off, man. I mean, let's. I know we're sort of overawed with the emotions with the occasion. I think let's talk about the batting. To start with the India's first innings. India again lost the toss. Man, how often do you see that? If mathematically, how is it even possible? Losing 14 odd tosses on the trot. Or there has to be an explanation to that. I don't know. That is really bizarre. India batted first. I think that Shubman Gill run out sort of triggered that collapse. Karun
Yeah.
Nair was okay, but again, I know the wicket was pretty juicy. The ball was nipping around. The England bowlers were good, but still, you felt that 225 was. I think it was never enough.
No, I completely agree. Yeah, I think the part that I think Karuna really played well. Yeah, I mean, these are the really tough conditions, right? And the fact that he scored a 50 after the sort of out of form he's been having, right? I thought that was a good innings in tough conditions, and we put up a good score. I think it is difficult, right? I mean, you knew that this England side is now going to push for a victory. They're going to push for the best conditions possible. They don't have Ben Stokes. Their bowlers are new. You knew that it's going to be bowling friendly conditions, and that's what happened. So I think the score India put up was good. I wouldn't complain about that. But yeah, I think the greater effort was to get them out as well, to not to give them a big lead, and we managed to do that. I think once that fact that we got them out for a relatively okay score, I think that gave us a good confidence. And then obviously the superb third innings we had. Yeah.
No, actually, in the second innings, again, they were cruising at one point of time, right?
Yeah.
129 out for one. The opening stand between Duckett and Crawley, I think that has
Yeah.
been the template throughout the summer. And I'm looking forward to the Ashes as well, how they will play in those testing Australian conditions, while facing the likes of Stark, Hazelwood, and Cummins. But I think they set up the platform beautifully once again. And at 129 for one, you felt, okay, man, here we go again. They will take 150, 200 runs lead, and India is going to get, probably not won't be able to catch up because the wicket over here was not like Manchester for sure. But that bowling performance, man, but that Siraj and that spell specifically from Prasidh Krishna, I think that was really
Yeah.
magical. Getting that middle order completely destroyed with those wobbly seam, with Siraj. I think that was a treat to watch as an Indian fan. And the moment you realize that, okay, the lead is slender, they had a slender lead, and you knew that if India bats well in
Yeah.
the third inning, I think you always had a chance, because it's not gonna be easy for the English batters as well to chase that down in the fourth innings, right? Uh, Jaiswal was good, and a couple of useful knocks again from Jadeja, Washington Sundar, Dhruv Jurel played a cameo.
And
I think
Akashdeep
that,
66.
and Akashdeep, man, how could you forget that? The night watchman, the great night watchman. I think
Yeah.
that would have been frustrating for England. It feels always nice if you are not at the receiving end. You can clearly make that out, because India has been on the receiving end quite a few times with respect to night watchmen, and that was brilliant. And I think the difference for me with respect to batting was the knock which Washington Sundar played, especially
Yeah.
with the final wicket, that 30 odd runs partnership, over there with Prasidh Krishna. I think that probably was a difference which ultimately panned out. But overall, 370 odd runs. I think you always felt that India had, but you always knew that how this is the batting effort from England's gonna pan out, because you always knew that they will go hard no matter what, and they did exactly the same.
Yeah, no, I mean, see, I think the opening partnership was crucial. And the fact that we got Zach Crawley one day before, that is very, very impactful because they know that, okay, otherwise that partnership can always set the tone, right? I mean, they will just take the run rate away. It will be 100 runs for no loss in 20 overs. And then you're like, oh shit, there's only 270 left. So it's very important that we got Zach Crawley out very early. That was superb again planning, right? The fact that you put that batsman over the other fielder over there and then you bowl the Yorker to him. Brilliant, brilliant execution. And yeah, next day we got those 2 wickets early. But after that, I mean, what a counter attack, right? Harry Brook and Joe Root. I mean, it is so frustrating to watch it, right? We're like, okay, wait, India's upper hand, India's winning. And suddenly it's like runs are just reducing, the target is reducing, and it's such a fast pace. Before we know it, both have scored 50s. Before we know it, both have scored hundreds. And you're like, oh shit, the game is gone. So I mean, that's the way they play, right? That's the way Harry Brook played, and I was not happy with the fact that he got the Man of the Series award. But maybe Gambhir felt that he's a bowler, he's a batsman who took the what do you call opposition up front, and he gave them a chance, right? So hats off to that approach. But yeah, I guess it had to fall somewhere.
I, I think I was watching a video somewhere today, with some English guy who was trying to decode Harry Brook. He said he's got no brains, but he's a person with no brains but a great bat in hand, and that's exactly how he plays. He's really uncomplicated. He just sees the ball, hit it. As simple as that. Sounds simple. Uh, he has got all the shots in the book. He's not scared of. He's not afraid of taking risks. The manner in which he took the charge early on, I think that was perfect. And that's why I said, when Siraj had that miscalculation at the boundary rope, I think we
Yeah.
all were like really anxious because the kind of form Harry Brook is in, uh, it's really hard to stop that kind of approach, and that's how it panned out for India. Root, on the other hand, I don't know what. I mean, he's clearly on track to sort of get past Tendulkar in the next couple of years,
Yeah.
at least in respect to the number of runs, if not centuries. I think there's something with India. I think he just hammers India. I don't know. Wherever he plays, whatever the format is, I think especially in the test format over the last 4 or 5 years, I think Joe Root has been the biggest pain point for Indian bowlers.
Yeah, I think what 15 centuries? I mean, some ridiculous number against India. And I think it's the highest. No, he also had the highest score at home or some crazy numbers, man. I mean, just crazy. But it did. I mean, see, that's the way Harry Brook and Joe Root play. I mean, Harry Brook plays, right? But some sort of an arrogance, right? Once you got to 100, you hit a bowler for 1 4, you hit a bowler for the second 4, and you want to come down the track and hit the bowler for the third 4. I mean, it's like, they thought that the game is over, right? Like, let's finish this in half an hour. What are we waiting for? We are in super form. And sort of a lack of respect for the bowling. I mean, what are you trying to do, right? Again, you're trying to go hit for a shot and get out. I mean, but that's the way they play. You can't. That's the way they play, right? And they will always give you the chance. And when then they give the chance, you have to take it. And that's what India did. I mean, very, very crucial wicket, Harry Brook. But I think Joe Root was more crucial, like you discussed, because he's one guy who can always help you cross the line. I mean, Harry Brook will get you those runs, he'll bring down the target, but Root was the one guy who'll help you cross the line. And until unless his wicket was there, I was not. I mean, I don't think any Indian fan was fine. But once he got that crucial wicket, when Prasidh got him out, I think we had a slip of a chance. What were you thinking? Do you think we had a chance at that time?
I think the momentum started to shift once Brook got out because post Brook, Jacob Bethel,
Yeah.
came onto the bat, and he was like a cat on the hot tin, man. He was all over
Yeah.
the place, and he was clueless. And suddenly, Indian bowlers started to find their length back, find the movement back. They troubled Bethel like anything. And
Mm.
when Bethel got out, I think that pressure sort of showed on Root as well because the scoreboard was not moving after that. And I think Root, back of the mind, knew that this is not the easiest of the wicket. I mean, the score looks 300 odd for 3 or 4, but I think it still got 60 or 70 more runs, which is not going to be easy. I think, and once Bethel got out, I think Root sort of became a little more cautious and probably ended up losing his wicket. Uh, but again, post that Root wicket, I think till the time, like you rightly mentioned, till the time Root was batting, I think we all. I mean, it was not gonna happen for India. So at least that's what I was feeling at that point of time. But the moment Root got out, then we like, okay, are we onto something here? Because you got two new batters, ball is doing so much, and then suddenly the crowd is behind the Indian bowlers. Siraj is steaming, literally steaming, and the ball is beating the bat more often than not. And things started to happen. And that's why I said, when the rain came in and I thought, okay, the bad light and all those things happened, I was like, man, this shouldn't have happened. The momentum was with India, and I really felt that we could have easily got two more wickets during that passage.
Yeah, and for a rare occurrence, we had the weather in our favor. Usually, the weather is always like this when we bat. And this time it was cloudy conditions, overcast conditions. The new ball was due. We were in a rhythm, like you said. Yeah, it is tough. It is tough to. As an Indian fan, you're like, okay, tomorrow it'll be bright sunshine. The
Oh
heavy
man,
rollers will come in,
hard roller,
and
yeah.
it'll be an easy target. But yeah,
Yes, yes, man.
fortunately, it didn't work out in that manner. Again, it is cloudy today as well. I think once we got Smith out, that's when I felt that yeah, today also there is a possibility. I mean, once you get Smith out, then you're in the bowlers, and then Woakes again. We can't bat, but oh man, those were very very nervous moments.
No, actually, I'm finding it a little funny that somehow Smith felt that he has to go after every ball and chase the ball outside the off stump, like on the fifth, sixth stump. He was literally
Yeah,
chasing, going after the ball. I think they could have been a little more patient from England's point of view, and that's where I personally don't like this entire baseball hype too much, because I think you gotta respect the conditions, right? You know that I know they could have been thinking, okay, a few couple of boundaries here and there, which actually happened. Overton
yeah.
hit
First
Prasidh
two balls
Krishna
of
for the
six. Yeah,
first two balls for the boundary balls. But then again, Smith probably could have been a little more patient. And you know that if the batter is patient, then bowler suddenly becomes anxious because he knows that he has to come down, come on to the wickets now, and he cannot probably tease you outside the off stump the way Siraj was consistently doing. But that Smith wicket probably set up the tone nicely. And then when Dharam Sena raised his finger, man, I was, I think that was the moment for me, because the entire series, I have personally felt that India has been hard done by a lot of close umpiring calls, which
yeah.
did not go in their favor. But this time around, okay, it was literally clipping the top of leg, and somehow after like 10-15 minutes of appealing, Dharam Sena realized that, okay, I need to raise my finger here. I think that was a moment for me. And then again, the other guy as well. I think he was probably high or something. I don't know. That ball pitched outside leg. No way it was hitting or
That was
clipping the
going
leg
down
stump.
like so easy, man. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's what the pressure does. Even the
yeah,
umpires were under tremendous pressure, because one bad decision and you know that you could be under the radar. Thankfully for India, that Dharam Sena call went in their favor, and then I think it was just a matter of time before I shouldn't be using the matter of time word, because again, even after the ninth wicket fell, there was this six which was hit, and again I was like, okay, this is getting a lot more closer now, too close for a comfort. But luckily for India, it somehow Siraj DSP Saab did not lose his cool, and executing that Yorker at that pace at that point of time, I think that shows a lot of character.
yeah. No, I was very nervy whenever Prasidh bowled, man. I mean, that guy's bowling the fifth stump line, sixth stump line. I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? Just don't concede. Like, forget the wickets. Siraj is taking the wickets. You don't concede. That's the only job you have. And he's bowling short. They're hitting it to the square. I mean, what's happening? But yeah, I'm so happy that he also kept his cool. And like you said, right, pressure, man. I mean, it does weird things, right?
Yeah.
Suddenly you're in form, and then suddenly you bowl one bad ball, and one bad ball is put to the boundary, and then you're under more pressure. So it is so nerve-wracking to watch that, man. I mean, whenever the ball is in pressure, I'm like, okay, it is completely over. Don't concede. That's all. That's all. But and hats off to Woakes, man. I mean, coming in a sling and batting like
Oh
that, I
man.
I really
Yes.
thought England wouldn't do it. I mean, the shoulder dislocation, man, forget everything. That's pain. That's a lot of pain. How do you even stand and hold a bat?
I mean, every time he was running, I
Unbelievable.
think you could see the pain
Yeah,
on his face, literally, and that hats off to him. I mean, that's what sport does to the people. You can't even imagine, taking that walk, with a dislocated shoulder, and here was this guy who was like, with a bat in his hand and trying to give everything for his country. And that's the beauty of test cricket. I mean, that's the beauty of sports, and you got to give it to him. And I was thinking that, okay, as an Indian fan, there was this thing, okay, somehow you have to get Stokes on strike. But on the other hand, I'm really happy that India got the wicket of did not get the
yeah,
wicket of Stokes, and rather got Atkinson out. I think probably justice right served. I mean, hats off to Woakes, fan. That was incredible.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, it wouldn't have been nice if Wolves would have been out. Yeah, but I mean, and what a series, right? I mean, I think it's justified. 2-2. I mean, both teams would have feel that okay, India would have felt that we should have won Lords. England would have felt that they should have won Oval. But what a series, man! I mean, off late, I haven't seen such a competitive series. Like India has been winning. India, we have lost. We have lost in Australia also recently. That is one-sided. We lost in New Zealand. That is one-sided. But this every match went to the fifth day. When almost every match went to the last session,
Yep.
and
Yep.
here again, the fifth day, every team. I mean, for me personally, England's man of the match should have been Ben Stokes. It is one of the greatest individual performances I have seen. I mean, 400 plus runs, 17 or 18 wickets. There is nothing that man couldn't do. Give me the ball, give me the bat, I'll do it. Give me the ball, basically. And missed him in this test, right? I mean, we'd have wanted Ben Stokes also there to put that really good performance. But I mean, this series is one of the most competitive series. Shubman Gill, KL Rahul, Jadeja, 500 plus runs from Jadeja. I mean, if somebody would have told me go to series that he'll score 500 runs, I was what are you smoking, man? But this is crazy. Like every single player just performed above what his level is. Yes, the pitches were easy, but it's still you have to play right. You have to execute right. And I remember somebody mentioning that England spent 16 hours more than India on the field, and I think that is where
Okay.
England should actually think through what is the purpose of scoring these fast runs. Am I putting? I mean, am I putting too much pressure on our bowlers? Is that something which you want to do? Like there is a limited number of good bowlers you have, right? If everybody falls down injured, Ashes is coming in November. Is that the best strategy you have? So I don't know. I think England should think through that a bit, maybe.
No, I think it should not be one dimensional. I'm all in for playing that aggressive brand of cricket, but I feel that it should not be one dimensional, which at times, more often than not, I've seen that with this entire baseball hype, right? Uh, like you rightly mentioned, I mean, the beauty of this series, this could have easily been 3-1 or 4-0 to any of
Yeah,
the two sides. That is how close this series was, right? In India could have easily won the Lords one or even the first one at Leeds, right? England could have won this one easily, right? Uh, Even the last one, the fourth test, which somehow India managed to, draw that one. I don't know how they batted for more than 1 day, 1.5 days to be, and I know it was not the trickiest of wicket, but again, having that patience, I think that was incredible. So such an amazing series. I think the last series which we probably saw was uh, this close. I mean, where you every ounce of every inch of the tenacity got tested was that 2020-21 BGT where India defeated
BGT. Yeah,
Australia.
yeah,
Yeah, and but again that was not entirely close. I mean, most of the games were one-sided. India got
uh,
steamrolled in the first one at Adelaide. Then the second game was also rather one-sided one at Melbourne. Sydney was a close fight, and the Brisbane obviously was a crazy game. But
correct.
again, this one, batting the second test, probably where India set up a 600 odd runs target. Batting that one, I think it could have been anyone's game. The series could have been easily been 3-1, 4-0. I don't know, to any of the two teams. So that is and that's the kind of the supplement probably the Test cricket needed. And it is the responsibility of the likes of India, England, and Australia to lead the way for Test cricket, right? Because we have been seeing how the other teams like the likes of West Indies, Pakistan, and all these guys are struggling. And I think that, and as a cricket fan, I really hope that Test cricket is not basically fading away purely because of T20 and the shorter format. And such a pleasure to watch this one, man. This is gonna stay in the minds and hearts of the fans all over the globe for a long time.
No, I mean, like I really mentioned it. So a lot of youngsters are watching this. The new generation is now coming into cricket, and they're seeing such close matches, right? They're seeing their fathers, their relatives, and all praising this series, and that's such a good thing. And young talent, young heroes. You have Jaiswal coming in who's 21. You have Gill as a captain who's 25. You have Rishabh Pant as a vice captain. All these young guys are now actually born. I mean, actually picking up Test cricket, and they're playing really well in Test cricket. Very heartening to see, and I really hope that Test cricket continues. And somebody was discussing a two-tier system. Maybe that's the way to go. Top five guys keep playing really competitive cricket, and if somebody drops, the other set of teams come through and make this more competitive, right? I mean, that's what we want, and I think it's possible. I
No,
mean, I think the way the series has gone through, it's a good lineup for Test cricket. Yeah,
Yeah, no, actually, the way England, Australia, West Indies series went, I think there's a definitely a need for a two-tier cricket system, and I've been really vocal about it. I know a lot of people are criticizing that approach, that you don't want to sort of put them aside, and the competitiveness, but they have to sort of pull up their socks. I don't
Yeah,
know how. They have to get in the new talent. They have to take the Test cricket system, revamp the system probably in the country, domestic system in the setup, beat West Indies, beat Pakistan, all these guys. I think they really really need to pull up their socks.
yeah, true. And I think that's the way going forward, right? But what a great advertisement of cricket, and looking forward to now the Ashes, right? Coming in November, I'm sure it's going to be a crazy, crazy Ashes. I'm sure England want to come back strong against Australia, and the Australian team also. I mean, it's in a sort of a transition phase. So we don't know how those three, four bowlers will continue playing for how long, and Smith as well. So crazy Ashes to look forward to. Crazy India series next also. I think India's playing next in sometime later, not anytime soon, right?
I think we have got the Asia Cup lined up again. I'm not too sure what's going to happen over there with the entire controversy between India and Pakistan. I personally feel that they should take a stance. If you're not playing with Pakistan, don't play with Pakistan. Don't
You shouldn't
don't
play. Yeah, you shouldn't play.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
shouldn't play. I think you this half baked stuff that you'll will not play WCL, will not play women's cricket, but we'll play Pakistan in Asia Cup, in the World Cup. That doesn't make sense to me. You either
yeah.
it should be black and white now. You cannot be playing around in the gray zone basis your comfort level. I think that's completely uncool, and that sounds ridiculous as a fan as well, because uh, as a cricket fan, I want to see India Pakistan game, but again at the same time, I am a responsible citizen of the country as well, and I don't want to prioritize cricket over my country or national interest in
Correct.
that for that matter. But I think BCCI definitely has to take a proper stance. No cricket means no cricket. Be it Asia Cup, be it World Cup, be it Champions Trophy, be it T20 World Cup. No means no. That's it. Period.
Yeah, and 2 months back we were in war, man. I mean, what the hell? You can't go playing cricket and shaking hands, and it's not. It's just not fair, man. I mean, just not fair on people who are defending the country. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate the way it is. Like you said, as cricket fans, we want this, but right now it just doesn't feel right.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I think Suresh, we should definitely do a segment covering the overall test series. It has been such a close fought and such an incredible test series, after a long time. And I think we should definitely talk more about it.
Let's do
Probably
that.
have a few more people on the show, and make it a little more fun.
Let's definitely do that. I mean, over the weekend,
Yeah,
something like a 1 hour session. Let's do that. Yeah.
sure. Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Great. See you guys. Bye.